different, you can do that. You can also add searchable metadata in here, so anything you want to add, like a hashtag or add any sort of searchable tag, you can do that so that the session is exposed when you're searching for it. One option that is fairly new is this URL option. So if I go type a URL here, so at 8 seconds into this recording, what's going to happen is a URL tab will show up in the Panopto viewer, and we'll actually embed whatever URL you type there into that URL tab. The best use case that we've seen for that so far is instructors that want to have their students take quizzes while they're watching the recording. So they would watch maybe 40 minutes of recording, verbally say, okay, pause your recording, and in your URL tab, I popped up your quiz that you need to take. They pause the recording, they take the quiz all in the Panopto viewer, submit it, unpause the recording, watch the rest of it. So that's one use case. If you want to embed it, a YouTube video, and say, if you want to watch a video on YouTube without forcing them to leave the viewer and load another browser tab, you can do that there. So that's one option that I like to mention. And let's quickly show those captions over here. So we go to the captions tab. This is also what was mentioned earlier as one of the options for transcription. So if I could actually type really fast, which I can't, I could type that, so that timestamps it when I started to type that particular note. So this is a web page example. So you could, if you had somebody, you have a service on campus that has the option to, if you have somebody that has the time to sit here and type out a transcript, you can add whatever metadata, whatever captions you want in that feed.
Can you tie it into a voice recognition software?
You can take a, you probably won't want to do it here, but you can take a, we were just talking about this earlier, take a MP4 of the recording and run it through something like Dragon, and then get have a DFX feed formatted XML file. You could hit play, let Dragon transcribe it, drop it into the file format type that we support, and then upload it after the fact. So that is possible. There's obviously lots of manual work involved there to do that, but you could do that. Some of our customers do that as a way of doing it. Easier on keyboard transcription.
And those captions Dave just made can be edited. So if you do have somebody trying to transcribe in here, they can go back and tweak the timestamp and make corrections. So that's how somebody went through a few times. They could keep typing it up.
Right. Yeah. So you can always append, or if somebody doesn't have the wrong data here, or if you do run it through a speech to text and it's off, you can go ahead and make changes inside the editor, and then just commit those changes the same way. Just do before you could save and quit, and close this thing out. Okay, so I want to jump out. Since Sakai is sounds like it's where everybody's going to be coming from. I want to get out of the tab here and show Sakai. So this is a test course that was set up for us. So there is.
Can you go to the
you don't want to go through
Lila 2012 channel, 2 over, unless you need to go back to the recording.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Okay, perfect. So there
That
is.
was a real class. I'll do them later.
Okay, sorry about that. So there is a configuration step to make this Panopto video link that we can set up for you. So if you just email her and say, I'd like to Panopto, can you configure this link for me? There's a one-time configuration that has to happen on each course. What's that?
The only reason there's a one-time configuration is that we're in sort of a pilot mode. If this gets adopted widely, it will be another tool that you just pull in. You won't need to call me, you won't need to talk to me, you won't need to have any communication with me at all unless things blow up. But so the configuration is really only now because we're still in pilot.
Close out the quarter. So this would be the workflow after that gets added. If this is the first time you want to get started with Panopto, log into Sakai, binding chords, click on a link that was just set up for you. And you're going to get prompted if you want to allow that. So always allow. And what we're doing is, so this is the Panopto web management interface. What we're doing is we're doing a single sign-on from Sakai into Panopto because Lila has creator rights on that particular course, he is now able to edit the recordings, make any changes to them, move them to different courses inside of the Panopto interface. If you go through as a student, you're only going to have viewer runs, so you're only going to have the appropriate level of permissions to watch the recordings, to take notes, to download the podcast. You obviously won't be able to edit or delete or make any significant changes to the recordings. So that they get a slightly altered interface where they just have less, they have less buttons they can click for obvious reasons. But if this is your first time coming through, you want to click on the record button, and it's launching my recorder. Well, if you want to, if you didn't have the recorder installed, you want to download. If you're on Windows, click download the Windows recorder. If you're on Mac, download the Mac recorder, and then this web recorder launch is how you then pass your Sakai credentials into the recorder. So you have to launch it through the website this way. So you click here, and we are going to open up the recorder. And then in the same way that we went over, you add your devices, you do your recording, and then you pick your course over here. Any questions about that web file?
Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
So if right now, so you set up mine so it's in a collaborative course. So everyone that's in that group, do they have the same access rights to?
No. So
No.
the way that it's set up in the Sakai or Collab, which we call Collab, is the administrator. If it's just a regular Collab group, the administrators of the group have record rights, and the members have view rights.
Okay.
In a class, the instructors and the secondary instructors have record rights, and the other people in the class have view rights. There is a feature also called a Dropbox. So we have one course right now who wants their students to make recordings as part of an assignment
Using Panopto.
using Panopto. So we created a subfolder under their folder. It's called a Dropbox. Students can create in the Dropbox. They can't create in the main folder. And only they can see their stuff. Okay? So the teacher can see it all. The student can only see theirs. The teacher can make theirs public, but they can't. To the best of my knowledge, they can't make theirs public.
The student?
Yeah.
No. If you're logged in as a student, you have very limited access. You can edit your own recording, you can change the name, you can delete it.
Right.
But you can't.
They can't make it
change
public, but the
permission.
teacher can make it public, or they can promote it up into the main site. So it's a way to submit homeworks or projects or
Right.
whatever that can then be graded, and then can be made public if that's what the teacher wants. But so that you can't go look at everybody else's homework before you do yours. You can do that.
So if you were in a collaborative group though, and you assume that you're all making, let's just say screencasts or something as an example, and you wanted to share those around with the group, how would you get everyone in that collaborative group to be able to share equally? Could you?
So anything that you create, they can see,
Right.
or you can make it so
I
that
think-
they can see it.
I think you're saying, are you saying if student A makes a recording and they
I'm
want to
saying
share it with all the students?
I'm saying faculty member A, faculty
Okay.
member B, we're both making things and we want each other to see it on
Okay,
an equal
yeah.
playing field.
Yeah, so there's a share option on, so the way this is laid out, we have this all sessions view. This shows all of your recordings. If you want to go to, again, we call them folders, these are your Sakai courses that get pushed in. If we would go to Panopto recordings, test folder, there's we don't create this one. So we have creator rights on this one. So if I go to the share tab, you can then add in anyone that has a user account over here and share it with them. So if you wanted, when you type in their email address, you can send them a little note, just like, hey, we love your feedback on this, or hey, check out these recordings. You can do that if you want to share the entire folder, or you can go to just one recording and just share one recording. Like, hey, I made this yesterday, I thought you might enjoy it. So there's a share feature that you can push it out to anybody else. Then you guys as creators can do that, the students can do that.
Thanks.
So I just want to show a couple things in here, because there are a lot of things you can do in here. Since this is new to everybody, we'll just try to show a few of the more useful things. Just touch on a few of these. So we'll take one of the recordings that we I hover my mouse over these recordings, you see that it shows these icons under the actions column. I can click on settings, and I have a slew of options here. I can change the name, I can change the course down here. If I click edit, if you record it to the wrong container, you want to move it over to the right one, change that right there. Share is what we showed, where you can add additional access to that particular recording. Output shows me all of my various output option types. So this is if you click on the big green globe there, that will just launch the viewer session, which is what we've been showing. That's the most common means of how people are watching. You can download an offline viewer that gives you a zip file of all of the source files that make up the recording. That's not used as often because the video podcast tends to be more useful. Where we see that get used a lot is where if some of our customers that have overseas campuses, they'll download an entire folder to a big zip file, burn it on a CD or DVD, and then actually ship it over to somebody, so you can watch that completely offline. And that's the entire browser experience, minus notes and a search. So that's a little bit better of a fully offline experience. So that does give you some additional flexibility, but isn't used too often. Then you have the audio podcast here, so you can just play the MP3, you can download it, you can subscribe in iTunes or to an RSS feed. And the video podcast tends to be the most popular in terms of portable viewing. From the browser, you can hit view, it will play in quick time inside your browser. If you hit download, it will download the MP4. Yes.
Is there any configuration options on how it does the picture-in-picture, or is it just, here's what you get?
For picture-in-picture, it will take...
Something topic.
I'm sorry, other picture-in-picture, is that what you want to say?
Yeah, okay, all right.
Okay. Yeah, so we have the mixed video option. You can just say primary video only, you can say secondary video only. Side by side, it's interesting, it kind of breaks it out a little bit so that it's not overlapping. Tile is pretty cool, because tile actually is listed as an example. I think I have an example somewhere on my computer. We'll take, so if you had 4 video inputs, which I think you said your rooms would have those, we'll actually take them and split them into Brady Bunch style, where we like each one gets their own corner of the recording. So you really want a minimum of 4 if you're going to do that. So otherwise you have empty spaces in there.
Well, that's a really nice feature. Basically, we're doing the same sort of thing, except we're doing it very time-consumingly in Sony Vegas.
Okay, great. So if you're going to see
if you have a multiple camera setup, are there ways that you can cut between the cameras in the editing, or?
So right now, you can only feed in one primary source. You can mix behind. So if you have we're actually testing some software now. It's like VU Mix or VU HD that will allow you to do software video mixing. So if you have 4 cameras plugged into a computer, you can switch video sources.
But you can't multiplex multiple video sources into one.
Our software, our software. Once you've dictated and designated a primary, that's your primary source. You can then add all these secondary ones where you can, in our next update, you'll be able to say, right now it's just one big timeline with different tabs in the viewer. You can kind of control which tab gets shown in the viewer, so you can use them that way. But this is a tile podcast, whereas this testing and waving to the camera in our recording studio back in Pittsburgh, so it's not very exciting. But you can see that gives you the 4 video output. So that's, again, kind of a unique use case, but it's it can be cool if you do have lots of video sources. And you can also subscribe in iTunes to that folder for the video podcast or the RSS feed. And we have Flash embedded as well, so you can take this and you can Flash embed this on another website. Let me show you what those look like on our support website here. We scroll down to the bottom. These are Flash embeds. So I can click both of these and play them side by side. Those are actual prompted recordings that we're just embedding the MP4 and then play it back with Flash. Okay, and we'll jump over to screens. This is where you upload PDFs. So definitely the HTML recording where we uploaded it. They uploaded a PDF document about HTML format, so you just hit browse, find a PDF, upload it, and it shows up as another tab. You can add multiple files. We'll just show PDF, PDF 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down the list. you had one recording that you wanted to put into 3 different sections or into another course and share to somebody, you can just click copy and then move the copied session. Name it something different if you want to, then move that out to a different container, out to a different course. Okay, any questions?
Can you edit the copy?
Yeah, it's a full session copy, so you can edit it differently if you want to, or just show a small portion of it.
Stats on it.
Yeah. Yeah, so we do have viewing statistics. I don't know if any of these are going to be very compelling in terms of statistics, but
Another one of those, those are the ones that recorded.
good. So there's some pretty good stats there. So you can click on viewing statistics and scroll down and show you the breakdown on this looks. So there's a lot going on here. So this is number of views. So the light green is number of times viewed. The dark green is unique users. So obviously users can watch it more than once. And then the orange bar is number of minutes viewed. So this shows a peak on this day looks like October 1st, where we had a spike of 2100 minutes or so.
So we're at the course level now, right?
Yeah, this is the course.
A live
Yeah.
course.
Right, so now we can scroll down even further and we can see which are the most popular recordings. So it looks like this one is the most popular, so if I click on this, this will drill me down one level further and I can see this course. Looks like everybody watched it on that one day. I don't know if they're doing a broadcast or if everybody watched it after the fact, but if we scroll down a little further, we have this views by video time. We like to refer to this as a heat map. This shows where in the recording people are watching. So you can see we started with a very high number of viewers, about 40 seconds we dropped, and then it gets to dip down a little bit further as you get the entire recording, so you can see how many people actually made it to the end. So 23 people made it to the end. So
It
that
mirrors Panopto presentations.
then you can scroll down further and again see the people that have that email address of that user watched it 7 times for a total of 93 minutes. So you get some nice statistics about which of your students are actually watching your recordings. And there was some, so this defaults to past month, so you can do past year or all time, which in this case this was just, looks like just something they were doing in the fall, but if you had a folder that you just kept recording to go over years, you can see year or all time statistics.
You can download that into Excel or
To CSV.
CSV.
Right. Okay, I am going to try to show the iOS app here. Let me. Not sure how this is going to come out, but just to show you guys what the app looks like. So this will work on any iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch. We are working on a native iPad application. It's free. You can go to the App Store and download it right now. But you launch the app. Shuts up at all. It works very well. So once you log in, you will be at the Home tab, and this just shows a list of all of your recordings you have available. If you click on them, we're not downloading the podcast. So I'm streaming here in a second. But we stream the video podcast version down to the phone.